Welcome back. So, I was saying you were saying something.
Yes, I was saying that INEC cannot perform beyond the challenges and limitations and obstacles that has already been created in the system. For instance, mobilizing people for election, for awareness and all these things, it's not the business of INEC, so to say. Yeah. That is why one of the key functions of the political parties.
But do they do that?
They don't. And again, we have a national orientation agency.
Which has been very quiet.
Yes. The National Orientation Agency, what are they doing? Right now, what are they doing?
They said they don't have money.
Particularly, look, let me tell you something. If you don't have money, that is why government must learn to put two creative people who have private sector experience in the place. I give an example. When I used to play the principal's corps when I was in the secondary school. And this thing I want to say, I think Mr. Noita will have a fair knowledge of it. And I look at it in all the states, the things were dying. And we approached Lagos State government then that we can revive this principal's corps. I have a company, First River House Sports. You know, they said there was no money and all this thing. I went around, I have a PR at PPC. I went around and brought MTN, little, and we did it first time, second time. When the government saw it and knew that they can leverage on it, they put money into it. Let me tell you something. There are NGOs. NGOs, they have money. They don't have money. But when they have programs, beautifully crafted, they look for sponsors. The National Orientation Agency, I've written to them. National Orientation Agency should be proactive. They should not sit down. The problem is that we put people who are not creative in
square pegs in round holes.
A lot of creativity.
Hold on, I just got a message here. Do we have to wait for National Orientation Agency to mobilize people? I mean, we the individual, for instance, a group here, this is a faith-based organization, is gathering people today on voter education, how to participate in the electoral process, women in politics, voter sensitization, and electoral process awareness. And they have that
is good, but that is the first line. The first line is institutions established for that purpose. The second line is our faith-based organizations. You get the point. Instead of just, because the Christ, if you are a Christian, Christ said, "When I was hungry." You get the point. That is social responsibility that Christ is asking from the church. So also the mosque. If you go through the hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, you find also a call to social responsibility. So the church must also. NBA is doing its own. I mean, the last time we saw the Kenya branch of NBA.
Plenty of NGOs are also
plenty of NGOs and all these things. More and more people should support all these NGOs. We can take Nigeria through all these avenues.
Yeah, but but don't forget that the people are sometimes, well, they're still a bit skeptical. Will my vote count? Why am I going to stand in the sun and waste my time?
No, an object
they have determined who is going to be president anyway.
An object will continue in a state of rest or uniform motion until there is press force acting on it. You cannot sit. You cannot sit down. As I am, I'm not sitting down. I'm not sitting down, and I believe what we need to do is to build a bigger network that over and above what APC, PDP are, and we will take it over from there.
Let me read something else to you. The Nigerians are watching and they're actually tweeting. So see, the Zim Ojoye is talking about the role of the citizenry and the role of institutions. He's talking about, he says elections will not be credible come 2019 because is it not the same politicians who are easily stealing the mace at the National Assembly? How about a ballot box that doesn't have security?
Let me.
And then they're saying that the electronic transmission, right? But you first of all have to get the ballots first before they are counted and then transmitted.
Please permit me just a few minutes to zero in on this and then throw more light.
We're running out of time,
yes,
so quick.
If you sit aloof and say the election would count, so you produce politicians that will snatch the maize, politicians that will, in spite of court judgment, will say, because of my personal interest, I will rather it goes this way. On this same issue of maize stealing, they say actions and reactions are equal but opposite. If you remember, the same Dino Melaye was suspended indefinitely by the House of Rep. Dino approached the court. Femi Falana handled that matter. Dino approached the court, and the court said, you do not have powers to suspend a legislative member. It is its constituents that power resides in, as prescribed in section 68 and 69 of the 1999 Constitution. Even the House rules, I think section 64(7) of the House rules also says you can't suspend for more than 14 days. But what happened when the same Dino, who should be the advocate of, look, I got a judgment and this cannot happen, Dino was the one that moved the motion. Dino was a member of the committee that sat and recommended suspension. In spite of what the Constitution says, in spite of what the court judgment had said, like in Dana's case, Honorable Dana and Bauchi State House of Assembly, Honorable Usman and Katsina State House of Assembly, even Aliu Ndume's case, as recent as Aliu Ndume's case, all of that happened. And then, like I said,
actions... Does that give room for going to steal the maize?
That's what I'm saying. Actions and reactions are equal but opposite. Omo Agege has issued a statement denying, even the people that were arrested, the police had come out to say that the particular person that stole the maize was not among those that were arrested alongside, you know, those that came with Omo Agege to the Senate. So the question I should be asking is, as heavily secured as the National Assembly is, because there's need to investigate it so that you don't have a reoccurrence. A maize was stolen, all the senators gave way, allowed the guy to run out, and then he ran out to the inner lobby, then the outer lobby, to a vehicle, because I listened to Honorable, what's his name? He said the vehicle was like his own vehicle. Like his own vehicle. That means it's a vehicle of the National Assembly. And the vehicle drove out through the gates meant for senators. And then we're saying, oh, look at the executive. Why shouldn't we also look at the National Assembly? Because it is their domain. And so the security there is the responsibility of the National Assembly.